Have you ever felt like you were different from everyone else? Like you had a special gift that others just couldn't understand? Well, you might be right. Today, we're diving into the world of rare spiritual superpowers, 7 extraordinary abilities that only a chosen few receive. These aren't your everyday skills. They're the kind of powers that can change your life and the lives of those around you. Now, you might be thinking, superpowers? Really? But hear me out. These aren't the flashy, comic book kinds of powers. We're talking about deep, spiritual gifts that some people are born with or develop over time. They're the sort of abilities that make you see the world in a whole new way, connect with others on a deeper level, or even tap into energies most people can't even feel. But before we jump in, let's get one thing straight. Not everyone will have all of these powers. In fact, you might only have 1 or 2, or maybe none at all. And that's okay. The point isn't to make you feel bad if you don't have these gifts. It's to help you understand them, and maybe even recognize some abilities in yourself that you never knew you had. So, as we go through these 7 rare superpowers, keep an open mind. You might just discover something amazing about yourself. Let's talk about our first superpower, empathic intuition. This isn't just about being nice to people or understanding how they feel. It's much deeper than that. People with empathic intuition can actually feel what others are feeling, almost like they're experiencing it themselves. Imagine walking into a room and suddenly feeling happy, sad, or angry for no reason. Then you realize it's not your emotion. It's coming from someone else in the room. That's empathic intuition at work. It's like having an emotional radar that picks up on the feelings of others, even when they're trying to hide them. But it's not just about feeling emotions. People with this superpower often know what others need before they even say it. They might get a strong urge to call a friend, only to find out that friend was just thinking about them or needed help. It's like they're tuned into an invisible network of feelings and needs. In everyday life, someone with empathic intuition might be the person everyone turns to for advice or comfort. They always seem to know the right thing to say or do to make others feel better. They might work in jobs where understanding people is important, like counseling, teaching, or healthcare. But having this power isn't always easy. Imagine feeling everyone's emotions all the time. It can be overwhelming. People with strong empathic intuition often need to learn how to protect themselves from taking on too much of other people's emotional stuff. They might need lots of alone time to recharge and sort out which feelings are theirs and which belong to others. If you have this superpower, you might find yourself easily affected by the moods of others. Crowded places might feel overwhelming because of all the emotions flying around. But you also probably have deep, meaningful relationships and a natural ability to help others feel understood and supported. Now, let's move on to our second superpower, energy manipulation. This one might sound a bit out there, but stick with me. Everything in the universe is made up of energy, including us. Most people can't see or feel this energy, but some special individuals can not only sense it, but actually work with it. People with the gift of energy manipulation can feel the energy around them, kind of like how you can feel heat from a fire even if you're not touching it. But they don't just feel it, they can actually change it. They might be able to sense when a room has bad vibes and know how to shift the energy to make it feel better. In everyday life, someone with this power might be really good at healing. They might practice things like Reiki or other forms of energy healing. Even if they don't do formal healing work, they often have a naturally calming presence. People tend to feel better just by being around them. Energy manipulators might also be really good at working with plants or animals. They can sense what a plant needs to grow better or calm down an upset animal. Some might even be able to influence the weather on a small scale, like easing up a rainstorm or calling for a breeze on a hot day. But this power isn't just about changing energy outside of themselves. People with energy manipulation can also work with their own energy. They might be really good at meditation or practices like Qigong or Tai Chi. They can move energy through their own body to heal themselves or boost their mood. If you have this superpower, you might find that you're very sensitive to the feel of places and people. You might get tired easily in crowds or busy places because you're picking up on all the different energies. But you also probably have a knack for making spaces feel cozy and welcoming, and people might tell you that they feel refreshed or energized after spending time with you. Having this power can be tricky, though. Just like with empathic intuition, it's important for energy manipulators to learn how to protect themselves. They need to be careful not to take on negative energy from others or drain themselves by constantly trying to fix the energy around them. Let's dive into our third superpower, precognition. Now, this isn't about being able to predict the exact winning lottery numbers, sorry. It's more subtle and complex than that. Precognition is the ability to sense or know things before they happen. People with precognition often have a strong gut feeling about future events. They might have dreams that come true, or suddenly know something is going to happen before it does. It's like they have a special connection to the future, getting little glimpses or feelings about what's coming up. In daily life, someone with precognition might be really good at avoiding accidents. They might get a sudden urge to take a different route to work, only to find out later that their usual route had a big traffic jam or accident. Or they might have a strong feeling that they shouldn't get on a particular flight or go to a certain place, and later learn that something bad happened there. But it's not all about avoiding bad stuff. People with precognition might also get positive feelings about future events. They might know that they're about to meet someone important or have a sense that a big opportunity is coming their way. This can help them make good decisions and be in the right place at the right time. Having precognition can be both exciting and scary. Imagine knowing something bad is going to happen but not being able to stop it, or having a great feeling about the future but not knowing exactly why. It can be frustrating when others don't believe your hunches, especially when they turn out to be right. If you have this superpower, you might find that you often think about someone right before they call or text you. You might have a knack for knowing how things will turn out, even when others are unsure. But you might also struggle with anxiety about the future because you're so tuned into what might happen. People with precognition often learn to trust their instincts and inner voice. They might keep a dream journal to track their precognitive dreams, or practice meditation to strengthen their connection to their intuition. Some find that their ability gets stronger over time as they learn to pay attention to and trust their inner knowing. It's important to remember that precognition isn't always clear or literal. Sometimes the messages about the future come in symbols or feelings that need to be interpreted. And just because someone has precognition doesn't mean they know everything that's going to happen. It's more like getting pieces of a puzzle rather than seeing the whole picture. In some cultures, people with precognition are seen as wise elders or spiritual leaders. They might be sought out for advice or guidance about important decisions. In our modern world, people with this gift might be drawn to jobs that involve planning for the future, like strategic planning in business or long-term environmental protection work. But having precognition isn't always about big, life-changing events. Sometimes it's the little things that show this power at work, like knowing exactly when to leave for an appointment to avoid traffic, or having a feeling that you should pack an umbrella even though the forecast says it'll be sunny. One of the challenges for people with precognition is learning how to use their gift responsibly. It can be tempting to try to control everything or to warn people about every possible negative outcome. But part of having this power is understanding that the future isn't set in stone. Sometimes, the purpose of a precognitive feeling or vision might be to help you or others prepare emotionally for what's coming, rather than to try to change it. People with precognition often have to deal with skepticism from others. In a world that values scientific proof, it can be hard to explain how you just know something is going to happen. This is why many people with this gift learn to be selective about who they share their insights with. If you think you might have the gift of precognition, it's important to approach it with a balance of openness and critical thinking. Pay attention to your intuitions and hunches, but also look for patterns and try to understand how your gift works for you personally. Some people find that their precognitive abilities are strongest in certain areas of life, like relationships or career, while others have a more general sense of future events. Developing this superpower often involves learning to quiet your mind and tune into your inner voice. Practices like meditation, journaling, or spending time in nature can help strengthen your connection to your intuitive abilities. It's also helpful to keep track of your precognitive experiences, noting what happened and how it played out. This can help you learn to distinguish between true precognitive insights and ordinary worries or hopes about the future. Remember, having precognition doesn't mean you're responsible for preventing every bad thing that might happen or making sure every good thing comes to pass. It's more about being aware and prepared, and using your insights to navigate life with a bit more wisdom and foresight. As we wrap up our discussion of precognition, it's worth noting that this superpower, like the others we've talked about, is a gift that comes with both joys and challenges. It's a unique way of experiencing the world that can bring deep insights and help you and others navigate life's twists and turns. Whether you have this gift or not, we can all benefit from paying a little more attention to our intuition and the subtle signs that life gives us about what might be coming our way. Now, let's talk about our fourth superpower, astral projection. This might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but for some people, it's a very real experience. Astral projection is the ability to have an out-of-body experience where your consciousness can travel outside of your physical body. People with this ability often describe feeling like they're floating above their body or traveling to different places while their physical body stays put. It's like your spirit or consciousness can explore the world and sometimes beyond, without the limitations of your physical form. In everyday life, someone with the gift of astral projection might use it for various purposes. They could explore places they've never been to physically, gaining insights and information that would be impossible to get otherwise. Some people use astral projection as a form of spiritual exploration, visiting different planes of existence or connecting with spiritual guides. Astral projection can also be a powerful tool for personal growth and healing. People who can astral project often report gaining new perspectives on their life problems or finding emotional healing by viewing their situations from a different vantage point. It's like being able to step outside of yourself and see your life from a bird's eye view. If you have this superpower, you might find that you have vivid, realistic dreams where you feel like you're actually visiting other places. You might wake up with knowledge or insights that you didn't have before going to sleep. Some people with this ability can even meet and communicate with others who are also astral projecting. But astral projection isn't always easy to control. Many people experience it spontaneously, especially when they're very relaxed or in a meditative state. Learning to astral project at will and to control where you go and what you do while projecting often takes a lot of practice and patience. There can also be challenges with astral projection. Some people find it scary at first, especially if it happens unexpectedly. There's also the challenge of proving or explaining your experiences to others, as astral projection is something that can't be easily measured or observed by current scientific methods. People with this ability often need to learn grounding techniques to help them stay connected to their physical body and the everyday world. It's important to be able to switch between the astral and physical realms without losing touch with reality. Despite these challenges, many people with the gift of astral projection find it to be a profound and life-changing ability. It can open up new realms of experience and understanding, allowing for a type of exploration that goes beyond the limits of the physical world. Let's move on to our fifth superpower, telepathic communication. This isn't just about reading minds like in the movies. It's a much more nuanced and complex ability to communicate with others using thoughts and feelings rather than words. People with telepathic abilities might be able to send or receive thoughts, emotions, or even images to and from others. It's like having a mental walkie-talkie that lets you connect with people on a level that goes beyond regular talking. In daily life, someone with telepathy might find that they often know what others are thinking or feeling without being told. They might finish other people's sentences or know who's calling before they answer the phone. Some telepaths can even communicate with animals, understanding their needs and feelings in a way that goes beyond just observing behavior. Telepathy can be especially strong between people who are close, like family members or close friends. A telepathic person might know when a loved one is in trouble or needs help, even if they're far away. This can create very deep and meaningful relationships, as there's a level of understanding that goes beyond words. If you have this superpower, you might find that you're very good at understanding what people really mean, even when their words say something different. You might pick up on lies very easily or sense when someone is hiding something. This can make you a great counselor or mediator, as you can often get to the heart of issues quickly. But having telepathic abilities isn't always easy. It can be overwhelming to constantly pick up on other people's thoughts and feelings, especially in crowded places. People with this gift often need to learn how to turn it off or block out the mental noise around them to avoid getting overwhelmed. There's also the ethical question of respecting others' privacy. Just because you can read someone's thoughts doesn't always mean you should. People with telepathy often have to develop a strong sense of ethics about when and how to use their ability. Telepathy can also be frustrating when you're trying to communicate complex ideas or feelings that are hard to put into words. It might be clear in your mind, but translating that to someone who doesn't have telepathic abilities can be challenging. Despite these challenges, telepathy can be an incredibly powerful tool for building understanding and connection between people. It allows for a depth of communication that goes beyond the limitations of language, creating opportunities for empathy and connection on a profound level. Now, let's explore our sixth superpower, psychokinesis. This is the ability to move or influence physical objects with your mind. It's often called telekinesis in movies and books, but psychokinesis is actually a broader term that includes influencing matter in various ways, not just moving it. People with psychokinetic abilities might be able to move small objects without touching them, bend metal with their thoughts, or even influence electronic devices. Some can affect larger objects or even natural phenomena, though this is much rarer and often requires a lot of energy and focus. In everyday life, someone with psychokinesis might find that electronic devices act strangely around them. Watches might stop working, light bulbs might flicker, or computers might glitch. This isn't always on purpose. Sometimes their energy can affect things without them meaning to. Psychokinesis can be useful in practical ways too. Imagine being able to grab something from across the room without getting up, or being able to fix a jam machine just by focusing your thoughts on it. Some people with this ability find they're very good at certain sports or physical activities because they can subtly influence the movement of balls or other objects. If you have this superpower, you might notice that you seem to have good luck, with things like parking spots opening up just when you need them, or traffic lights changing in your favor. This could actually be your psychokinetic ability subtly influencing your environment. But having psychokinetic abilities isn't all fun and games. It can be hard to control, especially when you're feeling strong emotions. You might accidentally break things when you're angry or make objects move when you're nervous. Learning to control this power often takes a lot of practice and mental discipline. There's also the challenge of keeping your ability secret in a world that might not understand or believe in such things. Demonstrating psychokinesis can be risky. You might face disbelief, fear, or even people trying to exploit your abilities. People with psychokinesis often find that their ability is stronger when they're in a calm, focused state of mind. Many practice meditation or other mindfulness techniques to help them develop better control over their power. Some find that their ability is linked to their emotions, getting stronger when they feel intense feelings. Psychokinesis can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's an amazing ability that seems to defy the laws of physics as we know them. It opens up possibilities that most people can only dream of. On the other hand, it comes with a big responsibility. Using this power ethically and wisely is crucial. Some people with psychokinetic abilities use them to help others, like in energy healing practices. Others might use their skills in more subtle ways, like creating art or music that seems to have an almost magical quality to it. The key is finding positive and constructive ways to use this extraordinary gift. One interesting aspect of psychokinesis is that it challenges our understanding of the relationship between mind and matter. It suggests that our thoughts and intentions can have a direct effect on the physical world around us. This idea has big implications, not just for individuals with this ability, but for our understanding of reality itself. Research into psychokinesis is ongoing, with scientists trying to understand how it works and what its limits might be. While there's still a lot we don't know, the experiences of people with this ability suggest that the power of the mind might be far greater than we typically assume. For those who have this superpower, it often comes with a sense of wonder and responsibility. It's a reminder of the incredible potential within each of us and the importance of developing our gifts in ways that benefit ourselves and others. Whether it's used for small, everyday conveniences or for more significant purposes, psychokinesis is truly a remarkable ability. As we wrap up our discussion of psychokinesis, it's worth noting that, like all the superpowers we've talked about, it's not about showing off or gaining power over others. Instead, it's about understanding and developing our unique gifts, whatever they may be, and using them in ways that make the world a little bit better. Whether you can move objects with your mind or not, we all have the power to positively influence the world around us through our thoughts, intentions, and actions. Now we come to our seventh and final superpower, divine connection. This might be the rarest and most profound of all the spiritual gifts we've talked about. People with this ability have a direct and powerful connection to the divine, the universe, or whatever higher power you believe in. Divine connection goes beyond just being religious or spiritual. It's a deep, personal, and often overwhelming experience of being in tune with something greater than ourselves. People with this gift often describe feeling a sense of oneness with the universe, or having direct communications with divine beings or energies. In everyday life, someone with a divine connection might experience frequent moments of profound insight or wisdom. They often have a strong sense of purpose and feel guided in their actions. These individuals might become spiritual leaders, healers, or teachers, sharing their insights and helping others connect with their own spirituality. People with this superpower often report experiencing miracles or unexplainable events. They might have visions, hear divine messages, or feel a constant presence of love and guidance in their lives. Some describe it as having a direct line to the universe, always being able to tap into higher wisdom when they need it. If you have this gift, you might find that you have an unusually strong intuition about the right path to take in life. You might feel a deep sense of peace and trust, even in difficult situations, because you feel connected to something greater than yourself. You might also find that you're able to help others find peace and meaning in their lives. But having a divine connection isn't always easy. It can be overwhelming and sometimes even frightening to experience such powerful spiritual energies. People with this gift might struggle to integrate their spiritual experiences with everyday life. They might feel different from others or have trouble relating to people who haven't had similar experiences. There's also the challenge of discernment, distinguishing between true divine guidance and one's own thoughts or desires. People with this superpower often need to develop a strong sense of self-awareness and humility to use their gift wisely. Those with a divine connection might find that they're particularly sensitive to the energy of places and people. They might feel drawn to certain spiritual sites or feel uncomfortable in places with negative energy. This sensitivity can be both a blessing and a challenge, allowing for profound spiritual experiences but also requiring careful management to avoid becoming overwhelmed. One of the most beautiful aspects of this superpower is its potential to bring hope and healing to others. People with a strong divine connection often have a natural ability to comfort those in pain, to offer guidance to those who are lost, and to inspire others to connect with their own spiritual nature. This gift also often comes with a deep sense of responsibility. Those who experience it frequently feel called to use their connection for the greater good, to be of service to others and to the world. This might manifest as a commitment to environmental causes, social justice, or simply spreading love and kindness in their daily interactions. Having a divine connection can also bring a profound shift in perspective. Those with this gift often view life's challenges differently, seeing them as opportunities for growth and learning rather than as obstacles. They might have a deeper understanding of concepts like karma, reincarnation, or the interconnectedness of all things. It's important to note that while this superpower might seem the most special or desirable, it doesn't make those who have it any better or more important than anyone else. In fact, many people with a strong divine connection emphasize the idea that we all have this potential within us. Some are just more aware of it than others. For those who experience this superpower, cultivating it often involves practices like meditation, prayer, or spending time in nature. Many find that their connection strengthens over time as they learn to quiet their minds and open their hearts to the divine presence they feel around and within them. As we wrap up our exploration of these 7 rare spiritual superpowers, it's important to remember a few key points. First, having these abilities doesn't make anyone better or more special than others. These gifts come with both joys and challenges, and they're not about gaining power over others, but about understanding ourselves and our place in the universe more deeply. Second, even if you don't have these specific superpowers, we all have our own unique gifts and abilities. The key is to recognize, develop, and use our gifts in ways that benefit ourselves and others. Whether it's empathy, creativity, problem-solving, or any other skill, we all have the potential to make a positive impact on the world. Third, many of these superpowers share common themes: heightened sensitivity, a strong connection to something greater than ourselves, and the ability to perceive or interact with the world in ways that go beyond our 5 physical senses. This suggests that there might be more to our reality than what we typically perceive, and that we all might have untapped potential waiting to be discovered. Remember, the development of any spiritual gift or ability should go hand in hand with personal growth, ethical consideration, and a desire to contribute positively to the world. It's not about showing off or gaining advantages over others, but about growing as individuals and helping to raise the collective consciousness of humanity. Whether you have one of these rare superpowers, a different kind of gift, or are just curious about the possibilities, the most important thing is to approach life with an open mind and an open heart. Be kind to yourself and others, stay curious about the mysteries of life, and don't be afraid to explore your own potential. In the end, the greatest superpower we all share is the ability to love, to show compassion, and to make a difference in the lives of those around us. By focusing on developing these qualities, we can all become the superheroes of our own lives and contribute to making the world a better place. So, as you go about your day, remember to pay attention to those gut feelings, those moments of unexplainable knowing, those times when you feel deeply connected to others or to the world around you. You never know. You might just discover a superpower you never knew you had.